This is Kenya News Update today. A 13-year-old boy on his bike, 3 dogs that should have been contained, and a community left to pick up the pieces. This story is about a tragedy that crossed an ocean and the shocking details that will make you question how safe your own neighborhood really is. Meet Drew Nickerson, a grade 8 student with a bright smile, a boy who loved horses, truck racing, and playing soccer with his friends. On the evening of January 2nd, his life was taken in a brutal attack while he was simply riding his bicycle down Upper Sandy Cove Road in Welshtown, Nova Scotia. But here's the twist. The dogs weren't on their own property. They got off. And that single fact changes everything. This is the story of a devastating loss, a community's incredible response, and the unanswered questions that remain. You'll discover what the video footage shows, why no charges have been filed, and how people thousands of miles away in Kenya can learn from this heartbreaking event. Drew was mauled by 3 large breed dogs, 2 cane corsos, and a Rottweiler. He was airlifted to a hospital in Halifax but later succumbed to his injuries. The dogs were euthanized the very next day. The RCMP, Canada's federal police, are investigating. They're collecting video and interviewing people about the dogs' day-to-day movements. Staff Sergeant Mark Macpherson says the owners are cooperating, but here's what nobody's talking about. Police databases showed no previous calls about these dogs. They weren't known to be a problem. So what triggered this fatal attack on a quiet road? The investigation is focusing on the facts. Macpherson says it's too early to talk about criminal charges. They just want to understand what happened. But for a grieving mother, that answer may never be enough. And then something shocking happened. The community didn't wait, they rallied. A GoFundMe organized by a family friend, Trish Harris, had raised nearly $60,000 by Wednesday afternoon. The local fishing community and seafood companies donated fresh lobster for a raffle. This is a story of immense darkness met with incredible light. Drew was his mother's only child. Harris wrote that their community is absolutely devastated. The hope is to ease any financial burden so his mom can focus on grieving and healing during this unimaginable time. Here's the part that will blow your mind. This happened in Canada, but the lessons are global. In Kenya, where dog ownership is common and security is a daily concern, this tragedy hits close to home. It makes you ask, are the animals in your neighborhood properly secured? Do local authorities have systems to track potentially dangerous pets? The implications are massive. Some say this was a tragic accident. Others will demand accountability. The tension is clear. A family has lost a son, and a community has lost a bright young soul. The dogs are gone, but the questions remain. If the dogs had no prior history, what went wrong that evening? The controversy lies in the balance between pet ownership and public safety. But if the system had no warning signs, how can we prevent the next tragedy? This is about more than one boy in Nova Scotia. It's about every parent's fear and every community's responsibility. We started with a boy on a bike and 3 dogs. We end with a community united in grief and a mother facing an empty future. The funds raised show incredible compassion. But money cannot replace a child. Do you think the dog owners should face criminal charges? Or was this a terrible accident with no one to blame? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more stories that make you think and feel.